Hello, and welcome to June 2023's edition of the Fleet Status. Here's what we'll be discussing in this month's installment. Starting off with the Nova HEVs, Manhattanville received 9790, 99, 9814, 2443, 68 to 69, 73, 79, 83, 98, 86 to 88, 98, 98 to 9900, 9902, and 9904 to 9908. 22 more units, as well as 9637 and 9639 from Tuskegee, which have Manhattanville stickers, increasing their total to 133 Nova LFS HEVs. The most recent arrival was 9902 on May 17th, which was the last 9900 series unit to be delivered, and the last Nova HEV to be delivered in general, entering service on May 18th on the M5 and finishing up the 291 bus order after over 2 years. Finally! Woohoo! With these deliveries, we experienced various pauses or delivery droughts, shown here, with the most notable one occurring between February 21st and March 18th for nearly a month. It would sometimes take almost a month to deliver one bus. We also had to wait a while for 9902, the last unit. 9785, despite being reported as delivered in August, entered service as recently as January 15th. 9799 was the last 9700 series unit to be delivered on March 18th. 9870, a relatively new unit, got into an accident on the M116 on January 3rd. Credit to the photographer. 9879, despite being delivered to Manhattanville, entered service on the M31 as a loan. Thanks to Quill needing to retire their last two lithiums, 9640 and 9651 were taken from Manhattanville and then given to Quill, leaving Quill with 79 HEVs. Afterwards, on March 29th, 9642 to 43 and 47 were transferred, reducing Manhattanville's total to 128 LFS HEVs and bumping Quill up to 82. One of these days I'll put my foot in Quill. Afterwards, Manhattanville got 9637, 9843, 86, 88, and 9902, bumping them back up to 133 LFS HEVs. Now that all is said and done, Tuskegee has 18 HEVs, Quill has 82, Gun Hill has 28, Kingsbridge has 30, and Manhattanville has 133. This whole thing was a mess, man. I'm very glad this HEV delivery is finally over. As cool as HEVs look, I hope we never go this way again. It was severely underwhelming of my expectations. At this point, just give New Flyer the 210 hybrid order, which is part of the 713 standard bus order. Due to the spring pick of April 2nd, the M66 was transferred to Manhattanville, while the M60 Select bus service went to Hale. 5457 was the last Quill bus to run on the M60, while 7594 was the last Quill XD40 to run on the M66. 9700 was the last Quill bus to run on the M66 in general. 5451 became the first Hale LFSA to run on the M60, and 7574, 81, and 9458 became the first Manhattanville buses to run on the M66. 7585 also did the great honor of being one of the first Manhattanville XD40s to enter service, doing so on my home route, the M11. As a result of this move, 20 XD40s, 7572 to 91, were transferred to Manhattanville, while 24 LFSAs, 5444 to 5467, went to Hale. This is the first time that Manhattanville used diesels since the 1999 RTSs, around 2017 to 2018, I believe. The last time I saw diesels here was in 2015. Woo! These things look good with Manhattanville stickers, I gotta tell you. At this rate, we might as well call it Excelsiorville. The fleet became very spicy, with 4 types of standard equipment. I am very elated that the XD40s got fully integrated into the fleet, being incorporated on all routes, and having a similar presence as the next gens now, although they clearly prefer the M98 and avoid the M11 at all costs. Later, on May 3rd, the depot also received 7550 to 51 and 7568 from Jamaica, although I have never seen them because they've never ran on the M11. This also made 2016 to 17 LFSAs an official part of Hale again, for the first time since 2020. These moves happened due to Quill receiving roof repairs, which I touched on in September's update. Tuskegee Airmen received 9638 on February 1st, which entered service on February 8th. This finished not only Tuskegee's 20 bus allotment, but the base order of LFS HEVs once and for all. I was able to see it on its second day of service, February 9th. With 9637 and 9639 being snatched by Manhattanville, the depot now has 18 HEVs, with 9638 being the highest. Ironic. Overall, 24 more LFS HEVs have entered service since last update. As far as Coneheads go, Jamaica restarted their Conehead reception on January 5th, beginning with 8929. They have since received 8755, 60, 80, 91, 98, 88, 84, 86, 98, 89, 12 to 13, 15, 18, 23 to 27, 31, 33, 35, and 37 as well, increasing their total from 40 to 62 Coneheads. What the heck? You took more than you were supposed to! You flipping dumb! Due to this move, Casey Stengel will get 90 Coneheads instead of 92. 8912 was the last unit to arrive there on March 4th, and the last Conehead to be placed into service was 8937 on March 17th on the Q4. It was initially thought that 8787 was also delivered to Jamaica, but it was merely a glitch tracker. Queens Village received 8930 on February 22nd, their first Conehead in a while, as attention shifts from Jamaica to Queens Village. They also received 8766, 79, 82, 90, 99, 8805, 07, 13, 79, 89, 10 to 11, 19, 32, 34, 36, and 8955, increasing their total from 40 to 57 units, and making them the second depot to finish their Conehead allotment. The last unit to be delivered to Queens Village was 8805, which entered service on March 29th on the Q46. All the focus now lies on Stengel, as they received 16 more units. Casey Stengel received 8756, 61, 71, 74, 78, 84, 87, 87, 92 to 93, 95, 8802, 04, 88, 80, 82, 89, 05 to 07, 09, 28, 38 to 40, 43, 50 to 54, and 56 to 60, 33 more units, increasing their total from 41 to 74 Coneheads. They were the sole concentration of the Conehead order from March 31st up to now. As X51 noted in my server, 8921 was the first Conehead to be seen with the seat isolated near the driver's compartment. This unit was delivered on December 6th. 8908, 8915, and other newer units have this seat as well. 8915 was delivered as far back as October 13th. Sounds like the pre-COVID solo seat is making a comeback. We currently have 193 Coneheads on property, an increase of 72 units. To prepare for the 135 and 173 Nova LFS orders slated to arrive to MTA Bus, 88, 82, 85, and 87 briefly went to LaGuardia for training, and 8902 briefly went to Baisley Park for training. 8960 is at Baisley Park for training as of June 16th. East New York received 7925 to 26, 2 more units, increasing their total to 40 2022 XD40s and completing their allotment of 7890 to 7929. 7925 was the last of the 2 units to arrive, which entered service on January 10th on the B25. By doing this left New Flyer with only 2 depots to deliver XD40s to, those being Fresh Pond and Flatbush. Fresh Pond received 7851 to 55, 73, 81, 83, and 89, 9 more units, increasing their total to 39 new XD40s and completing their allotment once and for all. Yes, after being gone for almost a year, 7851 has returned. It's good to see that the original unit that got it all started is back in action. In addition, despite arriving later than 8755, 7851 returned before it. Typical New Flyer W. 7853 was shown to be on the way on January 18th, then delivered to Fresh Pond on February 17th, and entered service on February 21st on the B52, completing not only their allotment but the 2022 XD40 order as a whole. Flatbush received 7950 to 54, 56 to 57, 64 to 65, and 69, 11 more XD40s, increasing their total to 40 long roof XD40s and completing their allotment as well. As always, New Flyer took care of business. The last units to be delivered were 7956 and 7969 on January 28th, and the last unit to enter service was 7965 on February 9th on the B31. 7936 was out of service due to an incident from March 17th to the 24th, and 7965 got into an incident on February 28th. As of January 25th, it was said that Flatbush and Fresh Pond XD40s had often been road called. Nothing a little maintenance can't fix. Units like 7912, 34, 53, 56, and others have had their trackers fixed. 22 more XD40s entered service between last update and now. As of February 21st, we currently have all 139 2022 XD40s on property and in service. Congratulations, New Flyer! You managed to finish before the HEVs and Prevosts, which began long before this order did. This would have left New Flyer free to concentrate on the XE40s if there wasn't a pause or recall on them right now. New Flyer did so well with this delivery that on January 19th, While Nova still had to deliver 17 HEVs, they only had to deliver 10 more XD40s. They finished the frickin' XD40 and most of the XD40 order before Nova could even... Oh, this is so embarrassing. They should be ashamed of themselves. Let's move on. So, to recap, the order in which the XD40s were finished was Ulmer Park, East New York, Flatbush, Fresh Pond. As far as Prevosts go, College Point received 1349, 52 to 53, 70, 73, 78, and 1380 to 81. 8 more units, increasing their total to 82 Prevosts and completing their allotment. 1370 was the last Prevost to arrive, being delivered on January 19th and entering service on February 27th on the QM5. 1307 also returned from his accident, returning to service on March 9th on the QM4. Spring Creek received 1498, 1500 to 02, and 1521, 5 more Prevosts, increasing their total to 35 Prevosts and finishing off their allotment. 1501 to 02 were the last to arrive, finishing off their order on January 19th and entering service on January 20th on the BM3 and BM4 respectively. Baisley Park received 1527 to 31, 5 more Prevosts, with their last Prevost 1530 arriving on January 27th, which was their 17-year anniversary. The last Prevost to enter service here was 1527 on February 27th on the QM21. This was one of the quickest deliveries to ever be completed, as Prevost stepped on the accelerator from January 25th to the 27th. 1533 was briefly loaned to LaGuardia. LaGuardia received 1535 to 44, 10 more units. 1544 was the very last Prevost to be delivered to this depot, arriving on February 24th and finishing not only LaGuardia's 22 bus allotment, but the Prevost order as a whole. The last Prevost to enter service here were 1543 on February 27th on the QM34, and 1544 being the last Prevost to enter service in general, doing so on March 29th on the QM34, the same day that I finished the fleet status script. Meredith received 1598 to 99 and 1601, 3 more units, increasing their total to 50 Prevosts, finishing their order once and for all. 1599 and 1601 were the last 2 to arrive, entering service on January 4th on the Sim 15 and Sim 30 respectively. The New York City Transit side of the Prevost order was therefore completed on January 4th. Congratulations! So, to recap, the order in which the Prevosts were completed was Charleston, Yonkers, Eastchester, Meredith, Spring Creek, College Point, Baisley Park, LaGuardia. Summing up all the new deliveries, the 139 2022 XD40 and 330 2020 to 2022 Prevost deliveries have finally drawn to a close, with the XD40s being finished on February 21st and the Prevost being finished on February 24th. Fresh Pond and LaGuardia were the depots where the orders were finished out of. The 291 2020 to 2021 Nova Bus LFS HEV delivery sequence, after 2 long years, has finally drawn to a close, being wrapped up by a 9900 series option to Manhattanville on May 18th. Oh, in case anyone else was wondering, the order in which the HEVs were finished was Kingsbridge, Gun Hill, Tuskegee, Quill, Manhattanville. As for the Coneheads, out of 209 units, only 16 more units remain to be delivered, all to Casey Stengel. The order is expected to be finished by this summer. It is almost time to set our minds towards future orders. 2023 XE40 4965 was confirmed to be built on February 9th, which confirmed the fleet range for the 60 XE40s, that being 4965 to 5024. However, they will not come as soon as they are expected to, due to the XE recall being issued on February 15th. 10 XE40s have been built as of April 17th, those being 4965 to 4974. The first production unit will enter service in April of 2024, with the order being wrapped up by September of 2024. Additionally, as of March 21st, 3 unknown MTA Bus LFSs have been confirmed to be built. That number is now 22 as of June 16th, with one of them, 8978, a future Baisley Park unit, being spotted in Secaucus on June 14th. This means that the 308 Nova order for MTA Bus could begin very soon. I can cover these orders more in detail in future videos. Due to the volume of content I have to cover, I will be splitting this update into multiple parts. Stay tuned for the fleet status, which will address loans, transfers, and retirements. Thank you all for tuning in. Please subscribe, stay blessed, stay healthy, stay hyped, and thank you for riding with Next Stop News.